Scooping net or dragging net? Which one must you have in your fish farm? This is a question I received from one of my colleague fish farmers, and I wish to answer. Then you can also learn as a fish farmer. Scooping net versus dragging net. Each of them has its own unique uses or purposes. They both have their advantages and disadvantages. Before I recommend to you which one to use, I will tell you or I'll give you detailed information about each of them, and then you will even decide for yourself before my recommendation. Now, scooping nets is a net or it's a harvesting net which has a long handle where individual can hold the handle and scoop fish or item from the fish pond. The scooping net, like I said, it is handled by individual or one person, and it is used to handle individual fish. So transferring fish from one fish pond or from one fish tank to another, scooping net is best. Or during sorting of your fish, scooping net is the best. Or when you overfeed your fish and the feed is floating on the fish pond, especially floating pelleted feed, you can easily use the scooping net to pick up the feed. That's why the scooping net is made of different types. Yes. Or there's a dead fish on the fish pond, you can use the scooping net to pick it up. Or there's an object that is floating on the fish pond, you can use the scooping net to pick it up. So the scooping net is very useful at any point in time in your fish farm. The disadvantage is that it is handled by individual fish. So in a situation where you want to harvest large quantity of fish, then scooping net will not be ideal, but you can still use it, but it's not going to be ideal. Dragging net will do that best, though we will still come to dragging net. So another disadvantage is that when the water in the fish pond is higher and you want to harvest your fish with scooping net, it is also very difficult to do so. But you can harvest your fish in that water with scooping net, but it's going to be difficult. So let's look at dragging net. And before we look at dragging net, to use the scooping net, you target the fish, put it at the front of the fish pond and drag it toward the edge and corner the fish at the end and lift it up, and then you take the fish. There are times, for instance, if the fish pond is large and you drain the water, there are times you have to go inside the fish pond and then you can just corner or put the fish at the corner and use the scooping net, drag them or scoop and push them toward the edge of the pond and then lift them up and then pick them or transfer them to wherever you want to transfer them. That's how I use the scooping net. Now let's look at the dragging net. The dragging net is a wider net where you can cast, and this net is handled by not less than two persons. It will be difficult or impossible for one person to use the dragging net to harvest fish. At least two people. Someone will hold at one end, another person will hold at the other end, then you put it on the bottom of the fish pond and you are dragging till you push them to the end, and then you fetch and lift them up, and you can do whatever you want to do with them in that net. So using the dragging net, you need to drain the water and leave it to the minimum. Then you can easily use the dragging net to harvest your fish. And like I said, if you want to harvest a lot of fish at a time, then dragging net is best. But it's also causing injuries, because when you harvest them a lot in the net, as they are fin took or wound each other, they get wounds and even possibly a lot of stress and might even lead to mortality. And like I also said, it is very impossible to harvest them in the water where the water is plenty. So you need to reduce it. Now, which one must you use? Each one has its own unique advantages. So you need to weigh. Before you even choose, the question you have to ask yourself is, what is the purpose of getting the net, or what is the purpose of the fish farm? For instance, those using fish farm for hobbyists or point and kill, such persons might not need dragon net because they are not involved or they are not engaged with large quantity of fish. So having the scooping net to pick up the fish individually is okay for them. But if you are run a commercial farm, then having both is ideal, because at any point in time you need scooping net. When there's overfeeding and you want to take out the leftover, you need scooping net. When there's a dead fish you want to pick it on the pond, you need scooping net. When there is an object floating and you want to pick it up, you need scooping net. And then during sorting, you need scooping net. And also transferring them from one pond to another, you need scooping net. And any of this can happen at any time. And lastly is the harvesting. And then so when you're going to harvest them at larger quantity, then you need the dragon net. So you will realize that the scooping nets will always be at use at any time, but the dragon net will only come later at the harvesting, and harvesting is once a while. So not all the time that you will need harvesting net, but scooping net you will need it all the time. So that's why I recommend that having both is ideal. But situation where you have to have only one, then scooping net is best. For dragon net, you can use a scooping net to serve the purpose, that's to harvest. Though it's going to take a lot of time, but you can still do that. I hope you have found value in the video. If you do, please consider subscribing to my channel, like and share the video. And if you have any question, leave it in the comment section and we will talk or discuss more about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. But before you even hang out, you might be wondering where to get such nests. I'm going to leave a link of such nests in the description. You can check that one out on Amazon, and then you can purchase them for yourself. Thank you very much, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. My name is Abdulaziz Issa.